The following is an exclusive presentation of the NCCU Sports Network.
All right, we're here with North Carolina Central University women's basketball coach, Vanessa Taylor. Coach, thanks for joining us. Can you just start off with how things have been going in the preseason preparing for 2015-16?
Well, the air is filled with excitement this particular year. We have 7 new additions to our team. 8 if you count the young women that sat out last year, and so we're really excited. They've been working extremely hard in the preseason, just really getting after it, trying to get themselves in shape to prepare for the season ahead. We have a very challenging schedule that we put together to make sure that we're ready for the tough play in the MEAC, so we're just extremely excited.
What has been your focus to prepare for the season?
Well, it begins with, we've tagged this year, all in, all year. And so it begins there, making sure that with everything we do, we're totally committed. We're doing it as hard as we can, just winning that particular possession, winning that particular challenge, just making sure that we're competing at the highest level. It begins there, and then making sure that we're great teammates to one another. There's that accountability piece that is in place now because we have returners now that understand how important that is to the whole. And so we're really excited about that this particular year.
And what's going to be the key for this program to have success this year?
You know what? Because of the number of new people, there are a lot of questions that we'll actually answer for ourselves in the preseason. But there are some staples. We will play hard every night. We will compete at the highest level, and so you'll see that competitive greatness come out. And so these young women that we have right now, they have the courage to move this program forward. And so along with the talent, those 3 things will definitely help us take some huge steps forward. The program takes some steps forward this year.
How do you kind of replace Raquel Davis and Kira Connerly? I know they were, 2 of your big players and leaders. And how do you kind of fill that void this season?
Well, you know what? You don't necessarily replace players because every team is different, but it's next man up. And so as we recruit it, and as those young women that have been in the program now for years, a year or 2, you have Morgan Jones, who's coming back, 3rd year playing. She's been a starter now. She's experienced. You have Monique Whaley-Briggs that has certainly waited her turn, has been waiting in the ranks and chomping at the bits. And then you have a bit of a mix because we brought in a couple of JUCO transfers that will also add some excitement and flair to the offensive side of things. And this team will just be different. We're excited for Kira Connerly, who's now playing overseas, and Raquel Davis, who probably will eventually do that. She had the talent to play at the next level, but I don't think you replace them. I think you just move forward, and it's next man up.
This is your 3rd year in the program. Do you feel like you're now starting to be able to recruit some players to really play a system that you want to play and that you really want to implement?
Well, I think what we have now is the young women are committed to creating the kind of culture that needs to exist along with the talent. So that they can be successful as individuals competitively and making sure that we're representing NCCU the right way.
Do you have any team goals that you guys have set going into this season, any win count or whatever that you maybe have on a Post-it note in a locker room somewhere?
They have a lot of things posted in the locker room, but in 33 days, 10 and a half hours, we tip off playing Campbell University at home. And so we're doing a countdown and making sure that every hour in between that we get better as a group, that we stay committed to each other, play for each other, and making sure we understand who we represent, and we do a great job of that. And so that would be our ultimate team goal.
And Coach, over the past few seasons, you've had the luxury of having a few 4-year players come in, and this year it's going to be Tisha Dixon. Talk about what she's contributed to this program.
She's been here since the start, and so with that, she brings phenomenal experience back, knowing what needs to happen. She's had the opportunity to play in the MEAC. Coming in her freshman year, a couple of times during that particular year, she was tagged with Rookie of the Year, and now it's time to have that solid senior year. So we expect that from Tish, and she's ready for the challenge. She'll step to the plate ready every night, every game, and so we're excited about that for her, the opportunities.
Who are some of the newcomers that we really need to watch for that look to have an immediate impact on the team?
Chantel Thomas is a newcomer that comes from East Arizona. She will see time at the point guard spot. And so you know, as a point guard, you have to come in being able to lead, and so she has to lead and learn at the same time. She's a really tough player, has quickness, and just a knack for getting the ball where it needs to be. She has been vocal thus far, limited number of practices, but just in the conditioning, she's thrown herself all in, and so we think she'll bring exciting play. There's a freshman out of the Carolinas, Deja McCain, who I think will be exciting. She's undersized, but she goes hard. As we say, she goes hard in the paint, and so definitely I think she'll provide some excitement and some depth for us, as we will depend on our post play to get it done collectively this particular year, as opposed to having one person that will carry the load for us. So I think those are two of some of the 7 that are new that definitely will stand out. But you have those returners, too, that are coming back with experienced play, and we'll look to them for experienced play and leadership on and off the floor. In a Kristen Askew, like I said, in a Monique Whaley-Briggs, and a Morgan Jones, who would be one of the lone starters from last year, who's returning, and as well Tish Dixon.
Coach, can you just talk about maybe a little bit what you just said there, but what are going to be some of the biggest challenges for you, and is your team healthy going into the season here?
We will be healthy. By the time the season starts, we will be healthy, fortunately, because that's definitely something that your team needs to have in order to be successful. So we're moving towards that, finishing up some rehab spots with like a Tish Dixon, who will be ready during that particular time, as well as a Kristen Askew. We added as well Maya Jackson, who sat out last year in the post. She'll be a big body in the paint for us. She'll be that bruiser that does the dirty work, finishes around the basket, and she'll be consistent, I think, on the offensive and defensive end. And then we also had a transfer in Tasha Britton, who's 6'2", that'll come in and be an immediate impact on the inside, as she will rebound strong, run the floor, get her hands on balls, and so I think she'll be exciting to watch.
You mentioned Chantel Thomas coming in at point guard last year. You didn't have a whole lot of scoring coming out of that position. Is that something that she's going to be able to bring this year and kind of fill that void?
You know, I think that what she'll bring this year will be, she shows such tenacity on defense, one. And then she plays an exciting brand with a little bit of flair. She has that swagger, as the young people will say, in terms of just making sure people in place. She plays with a calmness about herself, and so I think she'll lead this team because she'll be able to play calmly under pressure, but get it done.
You guys are a bit of a road warrior this year. Is that something that you just kind of take it, or how do you prepare for something like that? Because you're traveling a lot, I see.
We are. We have 10 home games this year, so 10 times we'll be dependent on that 6-man, who are our fans that come out, and they're really exciting. They're that 6-man force to help us get over. But those other games, a lot of those games are return games from when we were home last year.
This has been an exclusive presentation of the NCCU Sports Network.